We hear the word gratitude all the time, don't we? But, it often gets treated like this simple transaction, just saying thank you. So in this explainer, we're going to go deeper. We're going to unpack what it might mean to truly live in a state of gratitude. Let's get into it.
Just take a second and let those words sink in. There's a real feeling there, isn't there? This sense of being held by something huge and peaceful, something that doesn't really have a beginning or an end. That's the feeling we're going to explore. A gratitude that's less like a single drop of rain and, well, more like the entire ocean.
So that brings us right to the heart of the matter. Beyond being polite, beyond the thank you cards, what is the actual experience of gratitude? What really is it at its core? To get to that deeper place, we first have to look at how we usually think about gratitude. For most of us, it's a reaction, right? Something good happens, and then we feel thankful. So let's start by unpacking that common view. And this slide really lays out the contrast beautifully. On one side, you have our common gratitude. It's a reaction to good things. It totally depends on getting something or on a person. But what if gratitude is actually an attitude, a way of being that doesn't depend on anything outside of you, something that can be there no matter what's going on? And this really gets to the problem with that common object-based gratitude. It's so fragile. The source material points out that as soon as the thing we're grateful for is gone, that warm feeling can just curdle into jealousy or resentment in a heartbeat. It's completely conditional.
Okay, so if gratitude isn't just a reaction, then what is it? This next section digs into a totally new definition, shifting from something you do to something you are.
And there it is. This is the big idea. Gratitude as this constant attitude, a way of orienting yourself to the world that isn't about getting what you want. It's more like a fundamental stance you take toward life itself. Now, I know this might sound a little weird, like are we supposed to be thankful for bad things? No, not exactly. It's not about pretending to be happy. It's about being thankful for the whole ride. It's an awareness that can hold both the joy and the sorrow and see them as two sides of the same coin.
All right, now we're getting to the deepest layer of this whole idea. If this kind of gratitude doesn't need a specific thing to be thankful for, what's it pointed at? Well, the source suggests it's something incredibly fundamental, the very nature of change itself.
What's so fascinating here is that instead of fighting the fact that everything ends, both the good times and the bad, we can actually be thankful for that flow. And that perspective, wow, it gives you this incredible stability. When you're happy, you appreciate it without clinging to it. And when you're depressed, you have this deep trust that this, too, is just a passing storm. You learn to be grateful for the constant, unpredictable unfolding of life. So ultimately, what we're talking about here is a really radical kind of acceptance. It's about aligning with the way things actually are, which is always changing, instead of constantly wishing they were different. It's like finally ending the fight with reality.
Another way to really get a handle on this is to look at its direct opposite. Sometimes defining what something isn't makes it so much clearer. So let's explore its relationship with greed.
Yeah, it's super helpful to think of these not as totally separate things, but as two ends of the same spectrum. Greed is that constant feeling of never enough, that craving that just fuels unhappiness. But this deeper gratitude, it's the total opposite. It's a simple recognition of what is, right here, right now. It doesn't need anything from the outside to exist, and that's exactly why it's the foundation for peace.
This is such a great analogy from the source material. Think about it. We get that you can love a specific person, but you can also just be loving as a general vibe, radiating kindness and openness to everyone. Well, it's the exact same thing with gratitude. You can be thankful for a gift, or you can simply be thankful as a state of being.
And this quote just perfectly captures the result of being in that state. It's not something you force, it's natural. A real smile, a flower blossoming, they aren't trying to impress anyone, they're just an effortless expression, an overflowing of what's inside. That is the nature of this deep gratitude.
Okay, so this all sounds really profound, I know. But how do we actually do it? How do we cultivate this attitude? This last section offers a really simple daily practice, and it's not nearly as complicated as you might think. It all comes down to one thing, just noticing.
Now, before we get to the how-to, it is so important to get clear on what this practice is not. This isn't about just slapping a positive thinking sticker over your problems. It's not about guilting yourself by thinking, well, others have it worse. And it is absolutely not about ignoring your pain or forcing yourself to feel good. In fact, If you feel resistant, that resistance is part of the practice too.
So what does this actually look like day to day? It can be as simple as asking these 3 questions. And hey, this isn't a test, it's just a gentle inquiry. First, what did I receive today without any effort? Could be the air you breathe, the sun on your face. Second, what supported me today that I usually overlook? Maybe it's your body or gravity holding you to the earth. And third, where did I resist gratitude today? Just notice the moments of irritation or impatience, without any judgment.
And here's the key thing to remember. The goal here is simply to witness. It's about observing your experience, not analyzing it to death or trying to fix it. Just notice. That's it. That's the whole practice.
And this quote is just such a powerful way to tie it all together. Gratitude isn't some fleeting mood we have to chase after. It's a clear-eyed recognition of what's real, right now, before our mind jumps in with all its opinions and judgments and preferences. It's about seeing reality first.
So we'll leave you with this final question from the source material. It's not something you need to answer right away, just something to carry with you. Can you hold a deep sense of gratitude for your life, for your breath, for this moment, and, at the exact same time, feel dissatisfied with a specific situation? Can both of those things be true at once? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching. This video was put together by Prashanth. You are welcome to join him at Living with Awareness, a community for meditators and practitioners of self-awareness in daily life.